Hey guys, Fishin N Stuff. Today we're making some awesome SeaArk Rodholder bases. So stick around. Today we're making some rod holder bases for SeaArk boats. One's a simple, non-adjustable rod holder base. The other base is a little bit more complicated, but it's pretty dang awesome. SeaArk sells some rod holder bases that are pretty cool, made by a company called Laid Back Fishing Innovations. But they're pretty pricey, and you know me, so I decided to just make my own. And I think they're going to turn out awesome. Okay, so we're making an adjustable rod holder, but we're also going to make a simple rod holder for people that don't want to go the adjustable route. It takes a little bit more work, but you don't need a welder for either one of these. So anybody can do it with a drill, an angle grinder with a cutoff disc, or you just need a way to drill holes and tap them, and you need a way to cut the aluminum. The first one we're going to make, we're going to have to bend it, and we got some 1/4 inch aluminum. I found some 3/8 aluminum, and I was going to use it, but I think I'm going to save it for another project. But we was at the scrapyard and I found some 1/4 inch aluminum. Dang, that looks a little sketchy. I ain't going up there. It's the same thickness as the Grizzly tracker rod holder I made on another video if you want to check it out. But the 1/4 inch, we're going to make a rod holder, bend it 20 or 25 degrees, and then we're going to make an adjustable rod holder, which basically I found this block. It's 1 inch thick and 2 1/4 inches wide, and we're going to cut off pieces for the top part. And we've got this piece of angle that's a 1/2 inch thick. It's pretty heavy duty stuff. And that's going to be the base of the adjustable rod holder. This will be the top. It's going to be 1 inch square by 2 1/4 long. It's going to be mounted on this 1/2 inch thick aluminum angle, and it's going to be cut 1 inch wide. But you'll see how it's going to come together once we get started. So let's chop this stuff up and get started. Now you got a big old mess of metal, but we're gonna clean all this stuff up and we're gonna make something out of it. This thick stuff's really hard to cut, so take your time when you're doing it. Don't get in no rush. Alright, got all our metal cut out. I went ahead and cleaned it all up. These are for the flat rod holders. These are the 3 inch angle. I cut them 1 inch wide because I had those blocks that were 1 inch thick, and I cut them 1 by 1 by 2 1/4. You could go 2 inches wide on them, would be fine, but they're 1 inch by 1 inch by 2 1/4. This 3 inch angle is a 1/2 inch thick, which is kind of overkill. But what we're going to do with this is this will be your base, and this block will make it to where you can adjust your rod holder. We're going to drill a 1/2 inch hole through this piece of angle, a 7/16 hole into here. Then we're going to drill another 7/16 hole straight through here. Then we're going to tap it out with a 1/2 by 13 pitch thread so we can run a bolt into this side and the rod holder will go into this side. So the next step is to get all this marked out so we can drill it. I marked this one where I want to drill it. This is for the 2 little holes. I got the big 1/2 inch hole marked out. The main thing, you can place the holes where you want them, but the main thing is this little line is to make sure you get it centered in the center of the part. I'm gonna drill this one out, then I'll use this one to mark these out. Okay, so I got the bottom holes drilled. Now we want to drill our 1/2 inch hole. It's just a smooth hole for the bolt to slide through and go into the threads on this part. Make sure you get it centered though. That works perfect. Looks nice and level and straight. It's got plenty of play. Okay, so we got our bases done. We got the holes that attach it to the track, and we got our bolts installed, which is just a hole. The threads will be in the block. I put a dot where I want my rod holder to be at. And this end, I just drew an X from corner to corner, and that'll give you the center where you need to drill the hole for the bolt to thread through. Look, don't forget, these holes here, yeah, they're gonna have 1/2 inch rod holders in them, but we're drilling them with a 7/16 drill because you gotta have room to tap the threads after you're done. So we drilled this hole first. And the reason I drilled it first is because now we'll drill this hole down until it meets this hole. That way when we're tapping it, it'll be easier. The threads can fall out the bottom and I never tap much aluminum, but aluminum gouds up and it's very hard to tap. But I take some cutting fluid and squirt in the hole. Once you get your tap started good, here's a little pro tip. I take some little pipes I have and I put them on each side, and it'll give you a lot more torque. Clean these up with a grinder, and now we're gonna hit them with 220 grit, because we need to get the scratches off of them so we can polish them out. If you've seen my planer board video, on it, I cut some aluminum for the planer boards and I polished it out so it would be shiny. Well, on these rod holders, I was thinking about polishing these, and instead of using the grinder with the wheel, they have these grinders that have felt flap discs. I've never tried this, but I ordered me one, and I'm gonna try it out on these and see how it works. Now we're gonna polish them out And these parts are hard to hold. They're so small, and the polisher will jerk it right out of your hand. So what I did is I took a pair of vice grips and I wrapped them with electrical tape so it will grip better and it won't scratch the parts up. I'm gonna lay them on a piece of cardboard so the table don't scratch them as I polish them. To show you the difference between one polished and one not polished. But that's a raw one and a polished one. And you could use them either way. Not polished, they look fine. Heck, cool my kid, and them polished ones are bad. And there you go. They still need to be cleaned up, and I still got to put them on. Alright, so I'm gonna install my new rod bases onto my cat rack. I'm gonna use 1/4-20 stainless steel carriage bolts. The flat ones I cut out are the same thickness as the Grizzly Tracker rod holder bases I made, which is 1/4 inch. And they held up great. And you had enough room to tap threads in it. So this is 1/4 inch by 2.5 inch by 4 inches. The first thing we need to do is drill our 7/16 holes here and here and drill our 1/4 inch holes before we bend it. And we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, we got our holes drilled out. Got our 7/16 hole and our 1/4 inch holes. These holes will stay like they are, but these holes here, we're gonna have to tap them out with a 1/2-13 tap. Okay, we got our holes drilled, we got our big hole tapped. Now we're gonna have to bend it. And we'll take it over to the boat. Now we can see where our bend line needs to be. I'm gonna try to get it at a 20-degree angle. So we're gonna have to go over there to the Harbor Freight press brake we made and get these bent. Looking at the boat, I marked about where I think I want my bend line to be. So that's where we want our die to set. Alright, so I went ahead and bent these. And I actually went just a little past 20. I bent them 25 degrees. After I looked at 20, 25 looked a little bit better to me. Looks a little bit more level. But let's clean these up and try them out. Yeah, that turned out kind of nice. Looks better than it did anyway. That's what it looked like. Yeah, I kind of like it. They turned out awesome. I really, really like these things. Those rod holder bases turned out awesome. They really did turn out better than any I've seen. So make your own, save you some money. If you're not subscribed, go to my channel page and check it out. I got a lot of different kinds of DIYs, then you'll probably find something you like. And if you have any suggestions for DIY, put them in the comment section. And while you're over there on my channel page, click subscribe and click the bell. That way YouTube will let you know when I post again and you can watch it. I'll see you on the next build.